should start off by singing happy birthday to Greg. I'll count you down.
Society is right now. It's like we can't get along because we have different opinions on some things.
Wow, breaking news.
Oh yeah, that's just hot.
It's a great feeling when you see people using your product and you know that as they're using your product, they're not smoking. That is an amazing feeling. Do you not think at some point somebody in some meeting somewhere is going to hold this up and say, look at who they're promoting to?
By law, the FDA has to review every single application independently.
If you push the patty right, to make it as a hamburger, and then if you get old,
Yes.
you have to push it
Yes,
you
yeah.
make a ball.
Yeah.
And make them eat the ball. Okay? You think I know speaking Italian, what's wrong with it?
Yes, yes. Bro. I'm telling you, that's got clouds for days, bro.
Clouds for days.
It's got the best cloud machine you ever.
That, and I gotta click that. I figure if I just keep playing stabs and stingers, we won't have to do any show. My TV is off. Look, my TV's off. Why is that?
Can you turn that TV on?
I'm working on it. Oh, I turned it off again. Good. You can say stuff. We're back.
And 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Craig.
Happy birthday to you. It's beautiful, man.
Happy birthday, Craig. Thanks for all your help, buddy. They do some show with Kenny. Go check it out on YouTube. Subscribe. Give him money. Free shit and all that stuff.
How come they haven't asked us to be on the show yet? Why?
I mean, it's just them really at this point. But one day.
Oh, wait a second. But it's pretty much just us at this point.
It's true. No doubt. But they have asked us in the chat, but because of your age, you forget. Yeah. It's okay though, Phil. I mean, I'm here. That's what I'm here. I'm here to remind you. I'm here to remind you of things that are important in life.
But the problem is, you're getting to the point where you're going to need somebody to remind you as well. I mean, you're a lot sharper than I am.
Yes, I am.
But you complained to me again that your eyesight is going.
Yes, my eyesight is really upsetting me. But at least my mind is still there. It's still working. I can still remember. I can remember names. I can remember faces. Invitations to various vape shows that you can't remember.
Can't remember that.
And all that, yeah. So anyway, it's been a long time. This is why I think that the bumper that I made that says usually on Tuesdays is fucking perfect.
It really is. It kind of makes a lot of sense.
But to be fair, right? To be fair, it's been rough with work. It's been rough with traveling and our shows and our responsibilities. You're tanning. So it's been a rough time, but we're back tonight, and that's all that matters.
We are back, and we were gone, and then we're going to be back again, and then we're going to be gone.
Yes,
and we'll be back, and then we'll be gone.
Yes.
and then back and gone.
A lot of gone. A lot of gone.
A lot of gone.
So it's just bear with us. But listen, here's the thing. I think at this point in our career of vaping YouTube, the people that we want to be here with us are waiting for us to come on and entertain them and give them some content and talk some serious stuff and some funny stuff. The people that we really care about are here.
Or
that's what matters.
Or literally just hang out with.
Yes.
Just hang out with. Like we could just come on and just bullshit about nothing, right?
Yes.
Have a couple of drinks with you guys and vape. Yes. I think it's important that you see that we still vape, even with all of the negative vaping stuff that we see pretty much all the time.
I mean, before we get into anything, I saw this story the other day. I just tossed it to Phil. If you want to bring it up, Phil, they've gotten to the point where they've paid money. They've contracted drones to oversee kids to make sure that these kids are not vaping. This is happening in Lithuania, which has an apparent flavor ban on the table as well too. But because the kids are vaping and using drugs, this is the funny part about this story. It's like it's a combination. The government spent money on drones to spy on these kids. Can you, aside from the privacy issues and the kids issue and everything that goes along with it, imagine if you were the person that had this job to look at the camera from the drone. Like, your job is to sit there and control this drone. You're going over some kids, and this kid pulls out a Zenith tank with the delicious #1 best-selling flavor in the unsalted line, the watermelon peach by the infamous now 𝗵𝗵𝗀. And you have to 911 alert. Hey, this kid is using watermelon peach. The one that 𝗵𝗵𝗀 made. Yes. And what are you gonna like call in the SWAT team?
Here's the crazy
thing. Which is a very sensitive word with me right now.
Imagine that's your job, okay?
Yes,
and you're looking, you're like, all right, oh my God, all right, that girl's getting mugged. I got to keep looking. This person's getting shot. Keep looking. Carjacking. There's a rape going on. Oh, watermelon peach.
No, it sounds so funny, but this is the reality, folks. This is the kind of attack that we're going through right now. There's a huge campaign to demonize e-cigarettes, and it's a global campaign paid by Bloomberg, obviously. But I mean, it's global. This is just one example. There's a couple of a Molotov bomb that went off at a vape shop in the United States the other day. There's attacks at the border for the products that are coming. It's really, really bad right now. The public image of vaping right now is really bad because of the opposition. They want to demonize vaping, right? Here you go. I mean, somebody threw, like, in my mind, of course I'm old, okay? Not as old as Phil, but I'm old. I remember Molotovs were like here in Greece when we were young, when the far left, it was like, 20 anarchists would go downtown in Athens and they'd create chaos and they'd take these Molotovs to throw it to the cops.
What did you say? What's that?
Molotovs.
Molotov? What the fuck are you
Molotovs, or whatever they called. I don't know. So I remember we just heard about this concept and we were like, oh my God, this is like an anarchist. Like, they're making these at home. They fucking threw it at a vape shop. Why? Because, maybe little Timmy, Karen's son got caught with a vape, and they're throwing fucking bombs at vape shop employees. This is how bad it's gotten, folks. I mean, it's just unreal.
Do you think, honestly, though, that this has a lot to do? Like, it seems to be getting crazier. I mean, it's always been bad, right? But it seems to be getting a little bit crazier. Do you think this has something to do with disposables and how disposables are really being used by the kids at this point?
No.
You don't think so?
No. I think what they're doing is they are desperate. because no matter what they've done, people are switching to vaping, whether it be disposables or open tanks. It doesn't make any difference. People are not smoking. So the opposition is getting desperate. So when you get desperate, what do? You do irrational things. Putting drones over kids that are vaping is an irrational thing. This is a far-fetched. Throwing bombs at a vape shop is irrational. So it's a desperate attempt, because no matter what they've done, they're trying to stop this movement of people trying to enjoy nicotine in a cleaner and safer delivery way. And your desperation brings you to do irrational stuff like we're seeing right now. Australia is a perfect example. I can't get it any more perfect. Australia put last year pharmaceutical nicotine. You have to get your nicotine from a pharmacy. And that didn't even stop people from vaping.
Yeah. Well, that
so what are they doing this year? They're trying to eliminate it completely. That's what it's desperation.
Yeah. Well, I think the whole pharmacy thing in Australia, everybody that I've talked to just threw fire on the black market. Just through gasoline of the fire on the black market.
Absolutely.
Right.
And no matter what they're going to do, and this is the great thing and the bad thing, because there's a bad side to the black market as well too. But the great thing is that people are smart. People don't want to smoke. So I think at any of us, including the people that are in the chat here that are mostly OG vapors, we are not going to ever smoke in our life. So if it takes me going down to the corner in Cape Coral, on the corner of 34th and whatever,
Southwest, it's a bad area. Don't go there.
Where all the 70-year-old
there's a lot
plugs,
of 70 and 80 grumpy. They're grumpy.
70-year-old plugs hang out.
Don't go there.
So I can buy some watermelon peach from this, dark-skinned, shady-looking guy with a New York accent. I'm gonna do it. The bad thing about this is that this guy's telling me that it's watermelon peach. Do I really know that it is? He could be making it in his fucking bathroom. But I'm still going to do it because you know why? I don't want to smoke.
Right. And let's be honest. There's another bad thing that goes along with that too. The accessibility of these products to the common man, right? I've said this many times. We're never going to be affected by this. We're always going to find a way to get our PG, our VG, our flavoring, our nicotine. We're always going to find a way to get our hardware. We're going to know how to navigate, whatever we need to navigate, whatever gets between us and our vape. We're going to be able to navigate that. We're going to be able to get our products. We're going to be able to use it because we believe in it so much. We know it works. It works for us. It's pleasurable for us, right? We don't smoke anymore. But the common person, they're going to be really limited to what they get, what they see, and which I'm really getting angry about, the experiences that they can have with vaping. Remember when we started, there were so many experiences. There was mouth to lung, direct lung, restricted direct lung, all kinds of flavors, all kinds of shapes and sizes and devices and colors and little jewelry that you could hang on your drip tip. There was so much opportunity, so much diversity in vaping and what you could get and what you could use to make it part of yourself. To me, this isn't it. It's just not it, and it's getting people into vaping, but I don't think it's getting people into vaping with a passion that we have and that the people in the chat have. Hi, Peggy.
Sure.
I see Peggy. Hi, Peggy.
Hey, Peggy. I have to.
Janine and
I have to, and with Janine, I have to disagree on one thing, and I love you, Janine. You know that.
Oh no.
Janine says that
how dare you?
They don't know what they're doing. They have an agenda. No, excuse me. I'm sorry. I missed the comment. It says that they're. I honestly think the folks in charge have no idea what they're doing, and if they do, they're irresponsible and despicable. Yes, the second part I agree with you. There's absolutely no way in 2023, Janine, that people don't know that vaping is better than smoking. And I'm talking about politicians, healthcare officials, everything. I care. It just goes to show you that there's a bigger agenda here. Okay, there's absolutely, all you have to do is sit down for 10 minutes, do some research. You're going to find the facts. Okay, there's no reason for any politician, any government official, any public health official not to support vaping as a means for you to quit smoking. So at this point, I'm not getting they don't know what they're doing. I just cannot accept that anymore. Maybe 10 years ago, when we started, I can accept that. But today, no, I can't accept that. So what it goes to show you is that there's a bigger agenda here, which is a financial gain, whether that be on a public level, on a private level, on a job level, that overcomes the desire for public health to live longer. It sounds so bad. I know it does, but are you surprised? Are you shocked? I mean, this is what governments do. Listen, Jeffrey Epstein fucked tons of underage girls.
Wait.
Allegedly.
He was killed. His girlfriend went to court, and these documents were sealed for 100 years. You don't think for a second that this is an entire cover-up by the government? And we're talking about one specific case. Here we're talking about a product that is going to overthrow and bankrupt entire countries. And that's what vaping is doing. And you don't think that there's a bigger agenda than that? You think that, oh, I just don't know about vaping and it's bad for you and it causes cancer? I'm just not buying it. That's all I'm saying. Janine, I'm not buying it. That they don't know is not an excuse anymore. This is a huge conspiracy to protect profits. Period.
Money. Always been about the money, brother. If your mic wasn't attached, I would tell you to drop it. Very good.
Thank you, buddy.
Hey, you talked about you mentioned OG Vapers before.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh man, what a fantastic picture, man.
Isn't that a great picture?
Number one, I will say that I think I look youngest from the entire crowd.
You also look like you're trying out for a hip hop album cover.
Yeah. Well, you know, I used to be black in my previous life,
right.
so that makes sense.
You're very thuggish in that photo.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was trying to fit in. You know, with the
Do you know
tattoo
what's
crowd.
do you know what might be special about me in that photo?
What?
Oh no, maybe Mark Todd. Maybe. I think I'm the only one without a tattoo in that photo.
I don't know if Mark has. I mean, I have tattoos, but well,
I heard Mark has a big tattoo of you right on his ass. Yeah.
You know what's funny about Mark? I will keep that picture up for just a second. Even in this picture,
he looks.
You can tell he's uncomfortable being next to me. You know, like in this picture, you can see like he's smiling, but he's also like a little bit like leaning away from me. For some reason, he's very, very afraid of being around me.
He's actually got his arm around you a little bit, I think, there.
No. You see his fingers he's not touching me at all. At all. Just want to put that out there. It was a really good time. Let's talk about the trips for a second. Obviously, we went to Germany first, the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Phil did not make it last year, so I was very, very happy to see him there.
I was very, very happy.
And Ira, the host, once again, fantastic. What can you say about Ira that we haven't said all this time? The Hall of Vape, to me, one of the premier shows in Europe. Definitely one of the biggest ones at this point. Defined big one, you know, it's just not.
Yeah.
It's not what it used to be. But I will say a lot of disposables, as expected. But also, we had a very nice models gallery. A lot of people that we haven't seen in a very long time were there. And we had 2 booths, right?
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that, Phil.
We'll definitely go through the booths. But the show started off with a kind of a public protest, right? And it looked a little something like this. And we could talk over this stuff too, D.
Okay.
But so they had everybody out there holding signs.
Yeah, there's a huge tax in Germany that was implemented back in February, which is 16 cents per milliliter of anything that has to do with vaping, not just nicotine liquid, meaning PG, VG, base, flavoring. There's a 16 cents per mil tax. So instead of doing the big cloud that we're used to seeing at the Hall of Vape, we had this little protest at the beginning to let the government know to reconsider this ridiculous, ludicrous tax that they implemented on vape.
Yeah, and I like what this card said, because this is actually very similar to something that you've said in the past, right?
Yeah.
You know, if vaping is going to be 95% safer than smoking, then let's have a tax that's 95% less, right? I mean,
Completely agree.
That makes sense. So these are just some of the translated words here of what the people were holding. You know, they're fighting taxes, they're fighting flavor bans, you know, just like everywhere else in the world. So that was No, go ahead.
No, it was nice to see, but then again, it would have been nice to see that when there was 5,000 people out there blowing a cloud a few years ago, when which is always the problem in vaping. Like a couple years ago, before COVID, we had that same picture. I think you took it, Phil. It was like 5,000 people outside blowing a cloud at the same time. When things were great, people were selling liquid and everything was fine. And then, 2 years later, this is what we have now. We have a few people, trying to fight this irrational and, tragically corrupt law that was passed in Germany that makes vaping 3 times more expensive than smoking.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
It's
it really
unbelievable.
Is.
And by the way, I didn't capture it, but they did do the group Cloud Blow, right? Now, I remember the original Cloud Blows from Hall of Vape, and it was like literally a weather system moving up from the front of the show, right?
Yeah.
This year when they did it, it literally looked like a bunch of disposables.
Yeah.
It was like completely different, different. But every now
what else
and
you got
then,
from Germany?
Let's see. I got I have everything here just kind of jammed on my desk. I rushed through some of this. So let me see if I could find this one.
We also had a wonderful schnitzel dinner the first night. It was really good, and spitzel and schnitzel. It was really, really good.
It was good. Here. All right. Every now and then you still run into, like, I mean, this used to be everybody at the German show, right? The Hall of Vape. But every now and then you do run into somebody like this, who's got basically a huge baton in his hand.
Yeah.
And, this is a homemade piece for 21700s. And he's just blowing it up.
That used to be everybody.
Now, just to confirm,
everybody.
That's not a disposable, right?
No.
Okay, all right, good.
Yeah, not a disposable.
We used to walk around Germany and just be shocked. Everybody had like 17 mil tanks. Everybody had. I feel your volume can be up just a little bit if you can.
My vocal volume.
Yeah,
I can do that. I can make that happen.
So everybody used to have these like 17 mil tanks in Germany. Consumption of e-liquid was huge, and in Germany people just wanted bigger. That was the thing. And I, honestly, for me and Phil, I can speak for me and Phil only, but the romanticism of being at that German show was not there because of the people that we used to see at these shows and the devices that they used to carry and the way that things was the way that vaping is adjusted in every country is always to us like the romanticism of that country, and Germany was known for that. It was known for these extreme big devices and tanks, and this is the way that people vaped, and we just didn't see it. It was very, very sparse. It was like a unicorn. You saw maybe 3 people at the show with these products versus the disposable options and what they were using. And so yeah, seeing something like that, like the video that Phil played was nice to see that, hey, there's still 2 or 3 people that are still doing it. And I'm sure there's more, but they just were not represented at the show.
No. I did notice more people walking around with open systems at both the German show and the UK show. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But I totally agree with Dimitri. The Hall of Vape was that really hardcore enthusiast show. And I mean, I remember just a few years ago, cable. Remember? Everybody was using tanks with cable. Cable was the primary wicking solution in Germany.
For sure.
And all of a sudden you just don't see it. You don't feel it. You don't feel that magic anymore. It is really sad. I do want to thank though Chris Lusser. Am I saying his last name right?
𝗬𝗵𝗶𝗹, yes.
All right, hold on a second. I think I have an old picture here. I don't have a new picture of him, but this is us standing together.
Such a great guy, man. He's just a cool dude, you know?
He's a super, super cool dude, and he gifted me the 𝗬𝗵𝗶𝗀 the 10-year anniversary 𝗬𝗵𝗶, right? You look at you. Look at your fancy little
Bro,
setup right
come on.
there.
I'm not as old as you.
I haven't even set it up yet. But when I went by we hugged, we said hello, we talked for a little bit, and then he's like, "Hey, I got a 𝗬𝗵𝗶 for you." And I said, "Chris," I said, "I'm really not reviewing that." He goes, "No. He goes, "This is not about review. This is about I just want you to have one." And let me tell you something. He is one of the people in this industry that I will never forget because he never forgets me, right? Yeah. It doesn't matter if I'm reviewing. It doesn't matter if I'm saying something good or bad about his product. He's never forgotten about me. And Chris, I will always remember you for that. Thank you very much, man.
Yes, amazing. I built mine. Great MTL vape, of course. I have it on the Pipeline Mini. I picked this up in Germany as well too. Just a nice little setup. And yeah, I mean, listen. It's very appreciative from us. Like, you know, we just don't promote and review like we used to. But when somebody comes up to you and gives you a product that just out of the kindness of the heart is always appreciated. At the end of the day, I believe that in the past, you know, at the glory days of vaping, we did a lot to help these companies. And the fact that they're still appreciating, there's not a lot of them. There's not a lot of them. But Chris and 𝗬𝗵𝗶𝗀 certainly do, and we appreciate them for it.
I appreciate it. And by the way, the first liquid that I'm going to put, because I haven't built a high end in a while, the first liquid that I put in there is going to be watermelon peach, the #1 best-selling flavor in the unsalted line. Now,
cheers.
I have to jump around here for just a little bit because I saw somebody special in the chat. And she probably doesn't know that I'm going to do this. Where is she? Hold on. Christina from Black Rose Elixirs. All right, let's see.
Yes.
Yes. All right, hold on a second.
She was at the UK show. She wasn't at the.
She wasn't. I know. Like
you're
I said,
jumping too much.
But I saw her, so I just want to do this. Hold on. I got pulled over to Black Rose Elixirs. That's I'm pretty sure that's Christine and Felipe. You know, Phil, good enough. Yeah, even though he spells it the wrong way. They had a really, really nice booth. They were in the Ohm Zone at Vapor Expo, and they called me over because they wanted me to try one of their liquids, and it's Nevermore right here. And the reason why they wanted me to try their Nevermore liquid is because I'm American, and Nevermore is a root beer flavor, and I guess root beer flavors are not like popular in the UK. So they wanted to get my idea on it. So I tried it, and it was really like the root beer was dead on, right? But it has other things in it. Let's go back here. So root beer, kiwi. It was really nice. It was like this like sweeter root beer. Almost came across like, you know, the root beer hard candies, the little barrel candies, kind of like that.
Yeah,
kind of like that. Because YouTube is YouTube, I can't put a link up here, but all of the companies that we mentioned during the show, tasteyourjuice.com on the replay, I'll have links to everybody there. So it was very nice to meet you, Christina and Felipe, and I didn't forget you. See,
and it was good stuff. It was good liquid.
It was good. You tried it too. You tried it too. They had a really good pina colada. I'm a big pina colada fan because that's what I have here.
Very good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, back to Germany. Mm-hmm. What else you got on Germany?
Okay, let's show this booth in the way this booth should be shown, with e-liquid at the booth. Here we go. So this was our second booth, right? We were at the Innokin booth, but there was also a DashVapes Euro booth. Nick did a fantastic job with the imagery on this, right? Nick did this?
Correct.
There's Nick's Noob liquid. And there were two main liquids displayed at this show, Noob, and of course, unsalted, which is a growing line and a line that is getting very popular, I'm happy to say. So this is a little bit of the booth and our setup. There's the new delicious 𝗵𝗶𝗶 in the gourmet collection. And of course, the #1 best-selling flavor in the unsalted line, delicious watermelon peach.
Turn the video audio down just a touch.
Okay.
And this was day one that you're displaying here, of course. This was Saturday at the show.
This is Team Free Shit.
Yep.
And a nice little group photo there of the booth. I'm sorry if the volume was too loud on the video.
Okay.
I'll try to fix that. But really nice looking booth, man.
Yeah.
When there was
Fantastic
liquid
job.
there.
Yeah.
What
And the second day it was not so. Do you have a second day picture?
No, I don't. I
Okay.
was hoping that you were going to get me that video, but I don't have it.
Yeah. Well, you didn't ask for it, but anyway. So of course there was some confiscation going on by the German customs at the show, as everybody has heard. The first day we were there, of course, I was at the Innokin booth. At the booth we had Maria from Ethnology, which is our partner here in northern Greece. We had Nick, which represented Noob. Matt Cully was there. And we had an entire staff that came from Greece. I think in total we had 12 people that we had at the booth. The German customs came in on Saturday. They went around and they closed down 4 or 5 booths at the event, which we heard about. We heard that they were in there and they were shutting it down. They came by the DashVapes booth as well too. They asked what we were doing. Maria told them that we are displaying. We're not selling anything. All the products at the booth contain 0 nicotine. They were all 0 nicotine, just flavor testers, and they walked away. Everything was great. So the organizer, Ira, came by as well too. He said the same thing. Make sure, everything is okay at the booth. We said, Ira, this is what we're doing. Ira said, you should be fine. So we thought we were good. Day one was great. A lot of people came to the booth. A lot of people tried the liquid. A lot of people enjoyed it. A lot of comments about the e-liquid line. A lot of people wanted to buy e-liquid, but of course we're not selling. We're just there to promote the brand and let people try out something new. Day 2 comes around, which would be Sunday. And as soon as the show opened up, maybe 30 to 45 minutes later, 5 armed customs agents walked in and came straight to the booth with black bags and basically said that the products will be seized. And we're going to open up a criminal investigation into smuggling illegal products into Germany and at the show as well too. So I get called over to the booth. 𝗫 was there, which is the owner of DashVapes as well too, but he wasn't at the show at this given time. He hadn't arrived yet. So I get called over, and of course everybody that's involved in the booth is going crazy. But the voice of reason came over there. I talked to the officers, and they said that 0 liquid, 0 nicotine liquid, even though you're not selling it, falls under customs inspection, and it needs to have a customs sticker on it. And for that reason, they're going to seize all the products, and they're going to fine us for bringing these products in. So I was very calm, very collected.
You really were, man.
I understand that these guys were just doing their job. This came from a higher, order. They're just doing whatever they were told by their superiors. And I said, listen, do whatever you need to do. And just let me know. I'm going to be at the booth down for a little bit further down there. Whenever you're ready, come get me. So they came in, they took every bottle that the booth had. They put it in a black bag, and they took it outside, and they started counting it. And it was a little bit intimidating. I mean, they tried to intimidate me from the questions that they were asking, and the fact that they were all armed was a little bit uncomfortable, honestly. But again, everything that they asked, I answered, and at some point, an hour and a half later, they called me outside. What was really interesting about the outside was there was like 3 or 4 minivans parked right next to each other, and each minivan had basically a tax office inside. You open up the side door, they had an office inside with a computer, printers, credit card machines, and there was a customs agent inside, basically taking everybody's money. When I got to there, they said we counted the liquids that you had. The tax that you owe is 5,000 euros. And you're also going to have to pay a 10,000 euro security deposit, or you can't leave the country. So I had to pay 15,000 euro outside in a parking lot, not buying drugs, believe it or not, because the last time, no, I mean, I've never bought drugs in a parking lot, but I'm assuming this is how what happens. So I basically had to pay 15,000, and then I asked them, can I get the product back now that I paid the tax for it? Like, no, the product will be destroyed. So I paid the tax on the product, but I could not get the product back.
It's ridiculous.
So they took all the product, and we were left the second day with no product to display or test out or give away, because we had planned to give away some of the bottles that were left over to the German vapors. Now, in total, just don't think it's just me, because some people are making it out it was just me because they love me so much in vaping. In total, there were 15 booths that this happened to, and some of the booths were way more than what I was, because we had like 300 bottles, I think, or 400 bottles that day at the booth. But there's other booths that they took like 2 pallets from, right? So I can't even imagine what the fines were there. But a lot of people have asked me, how do you feel about the entire thing? And I will tell you that the only person that I blame on this is me. I don't blame anybody else. I don't blame the organizers. I don't blame Ira at all. In fact, Ira, did whatever he possibly could to make this as smooth as possible.
Ira,
because
to be fair, Ira felt horrible about
yes,
this.
yes.
Like,
and I'm not going to put the feelings aside, because it is a business.
right.
And so I have to say that I should have done better research. I was contacted by the organizers a month and a half ahead of time about selling, and I said, Ira, I'm not going to sell. We're not coming there to sell. We're just coming there to display. I want to help these guys promote. And he said, as long as you don't sell, you're going to be fine. And I think that in his mind, and in my mind, I thought that we were good. If I knew that this was in play, I certainly would have taken care of it. I should have done more. And I want to tell you why. I told the customs agent, this booth to set up in Germany was 20,000 euros. Okay. By the time you buy the space, we were, I think that DashVapes was premier sponsor of the show. Okay. So there's a cost involved in that. And you have a cost that's involved in renting the space that you're going to have the booth. Then there's a cost involved in building the booth. I think in total, we had about 20,000 euros captured in product and booth. Then you have a staff of 12 people that were flown in. So travel accommodations, hotel accommodations, food. Overall, we have an investment of 30 to 35,000 euros to have this booth up. It doesn't make any sense that I would have 400 bottles there that were brought in, like smuggled, right? If we knew that this needed to be taken care of course, we would have been taking, what's another 5,000 when you're spending 35,000, right? And that's what I told the customs agent as well, too. I was like, you did not, as sorry I am for you guys, you did not bust like the Pablo Escobar of fucking vaping. You know, you just you didn't accomplish. You're not going to be on the newspaper of busting the biggest smuggler in Germany. But it was clearly a misunderstanding and miscommunication and poor execution on me. I take full blame for this. I don't blame these officers that are just probably making $8 an hour. They were given orders. But I do know this. I do know that the liquid was very, very popular on day one. I do know that tons of Germans wanted to buy it. I do know that the flavors are fucking fantastic. And I do know that the German distributors did not like that. So this was clearly a sting that was set up by our own industry. Listen to me, folks. This was not big tobacco. This was not public health. This was not the government itself. Somebody called from that show and said, the booth that you went to yesterday and you said, okay, they're not selling, they have zero nicotine liquid, which falls under, correctly so, it falls under the government's taxable product, which is correct. But the fact that somebody, and I know who, but I'm not going to say it publicly, but somebody from that show called and turned the booth in, because the next day they didn't come around like walking around and they stopped at our booth. These 5 officers with guns came directly to our booth. That means it was a setup. Is shameful. It's shameful for our industry. I get it. You don't want competition. You know, you don't want people coming from out of Germany and bringing good stuff inside there and showing you up. I get that. People ask me, are you mad about this? Like, of course I'm upset about it, but what are you going to do about it? I'm not going to call them out. I'm not going to go, because it's not going to accomplish anything. In fact, it's probably going to give them publicity. But what I am going to do is, now with Jam Monster and with Dash Vapes and with Unsalted, next year, if there's going to be a Hall of Vape, and I hope that there is, and I told Ira that me and Phil and Matt and everybody that was in that office talking to him, you have our full support to have another Hall of Vape. I am going to come back next year, bigger, stronger, and I am going to dominate that fucking industry because we do have good products. I'm going to go inside. I'm going to pay the tax. I'm going to put a fucking sticker on I'm going to put a sticker in Phil's butthole. I'm going to sticker up everything. Everything is going to be stickered up. I'm going to be 1,000% legal. And I'm going to go inside and I'm going to dominate this industry the only way that I know how. And that is by showing everybody up and doing something better than what these guys are trying to do. And that is snitching because that's the only way you can stay in business. So that's exactly what happened in Germany. I want to thank Ira because Ira actually was very, very helpful. I don't blame him at all. I don't blame the Hall of Vape at all. It is what it is. We're going to work. We're going to make the money back. And we're going to come back next year bigger, stronger, and more delicious than ever with the #1 best-selling e-liquid in the unsalted line, the delicious watermelon peach.
That's the #1 best-selling flavor in the unsalted line, the delicious watermelon peach. Funny that you should say they were snitching where they have the schnitzel.
Yes, so it's
try to say that.
So that's exactly what happened in Germany. I hope you got the entire scoop from us. And there you go.
You know, I would. There are certain people that I looked up to in this world. My father, my mother, my friend Chris, who can build and just do anything, and Dimitri because of his business acumen and just the way he works, how hard he works.
Buddy. And my sex life. Also I know you're jealous of my sex life too, as well. So
definitely your sex life. But also how well you handled that whole thing. See,
Thank you.
I can't do that. Like, I just panic. I'll if this drips a little bit, I just like panic, right? You handled that amazing. I went over the booth when they were taking everything, And your team came up to me and they got in front of me. They're like, "Don't say anything. Don't do anything."
Yeah.
Like, first of all, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? They all got guns. They all got like pepper.
Yeah.
That's not the time to say or do anything. But I'm like just looking at you, and you're like, you're. I mean, this is it. Look at you in this picture. You're just there, texting, figuring things out.
I think I was texting a chick at that point.
Probably.
I think I was. but all I'm saying is that, listen, you can't argue with him. And I know that anybody else in Shy, I told Shy to stay at the hotel and not come because Shy is he's like you, he gets very, very emotional about it. You can't win in this situation. So the best thing that you can do is just keep it calm and let them do their thing. And then I think that the way that I handle it actually helped me in the end, from the fact that no matter what happens, I always wanted to be arrested. We've talked about this in the past. This many times. I always wanted to be arrested. I never thought that people would come with guns to take PG, VG, and flavoring, didn't have no nicotine inside. Like, I never thought that would happen. Like, it's just such a bad image for tobacco harm reduction, for vaping. The people that were inside, seeing not just ours, but all these booths that were being busted. Like, what the fuck are we vaping? Why is the customs and the guns in here? And what are they taking? Like, it's just a bad image. And it was a bad image for Ira as well, too, for his show. It was just bad. The overall thing was just bad for vaping.
Yeah.
That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be arrested for trying to help your mom quit smoking. That's the ideal situation for me. But in this situation, for me to get arrested because, I didn't pay tax and this racketeering thing that they did, because this was a racket, obviously, right? That was instigated by German distributors that sell vape products. They hurt themselves.
Yeah.
They hurt them because if vaping hurts, your overall sales are going to hurt as well, too. This is what they think they won, but they lost. And in fact, all it did is just trigger me. You know me, if I get a boner feel, I am going to fucking stick it in. There's just no doubt. It's just no doubt. And I have such a big boner right now in Germany. In fact, I talked to Jam Monster about this as well, too. I am so determined to go into Germany and dominate this market. I am so determined. I have 6 countries to take care of right now in the immediate future. And after this, all I'm focusing on is Germany. I've talked to a distributor there. I am setting up a huge marketing plan. I am going in balls to the walls. And next year, you're going to see the biggest, the most elaborate booth in Germany, going in there and making sure that delicious liquid gets into the mouths of German vapors because of what they did. And that's all they did is they just woke up this monster in me.
Yeah, and that's definitely something else that I've learned about you. I learned that years ago, is that when you have a thorn in your side about something, you do not let it rest.
And it might take a few. It might take a few years. I don't forget, but I'll get it out.
No,
there.
I've seen you go a lot longer than even a few years.
Yes.
And
true. It's true.
It's pretty intense. It's pretty intense.
True.
This was Maria talking about the new and delicious.
What did Maria have to say?
𝗵𝗶𝗶.
Mom, this is Maria.
Hello, Mama B. I'm in love. The world seems nothing in front of this amazing, amazing idea and e-liquid.
Now, are you in love with the liquid, or are you in love with 𝗵𝗶𝗶's son?
I'm in love with 𝗃𝗂𝗀𝗀.
Okay, all right,
But
yeah.
I'm not supposed to mention it because I'm already married. Fucking bad luck of my life. but this is.
It's good. And is it selling well?
It's not the #1 selling.
Well, that's watermelon peach. I understand. Of course, yes.
But it's the #2.
I got 1 and 2. That's good.
You like 2. You created 2 liquids. They are both best selling. What else? What else?
Fantastic.
You
Thank
and
you.
Nespresso.
Thank you.
Nothing else.
Wave to my mom.
Bye bye, Mama. Bye bye, Mama B. You are awesome.
Aw, she's so sweet. It was really interesting to go over to your booth in Germany because there wasn't German being spoken anywhere at your booth. It was just all Greek. Very many Greeks.
But Maria speaks German, so that was very helpful.
She does?
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
Very fluent as well, too, yeah. That's why we didn't get a translator, yeah.
Hey, does anybody know the quartering? It's a very, very... Hold on, let me make sure that I have this here. Before
Christina from Black Rose says that, Dimitri, you're a scary, calm person, like a real poker face, unreadable calm. Yeah. That's why you should be scared of me, Chris, in a good way.
That's you.
Phil says 2 CBC questions for you. What's the #1 best-selling flavor?
Oh, wait.
Phil says 2 CBC.
Okay, so if you know the quartering, I mean, this guy got like, you know, thousands and thousands of subscribers, millions of views. He's all over all kinds of platforms, and he was very interested in watermelon peach. Listen right
Really?
here. Yeah. Watch.
Phil says 2 CBC questions for you. What's the #1 best-selling flavor in the unsalted line?
There, he just said it.
That's unbelievable.
Listen again.
Unsalted line.
Here we go.
In the unsalted line flavor. In the unsalted line.
He said it.
Flavor.
That's great.
Unsalted line. #1 best-selling flavor. In the
oh my God,
unsalted
Don
line.
from DIY Flavor Shack. I haven't seen you in a very, very long time. Hi. But listen, overall, I had a great time in Germany. We had great food in Stuttgart, and went out clubbing. It didn't affect anything as far as I'm concerned. The trip, we paid the fine. We were able to get out. We didn't get arrested, and I really do hope, from the bottom of my heart, I really do hope that Ira and his team comes back next year. We need this show. This show cannot go away. Maybe with a little bit of changes, a little bit more B2B, a little bit less BTC. But I think that we need to have this show because it is, and it still is, the premier show in Europe. And we shouldn't let the actions of a few monopolizing companies affect the overall community that we have in Germany. And I'm not speaking of everybody that was at the table with Aaron talking about this, told him the same thing. So I want him to know that we're going to support it. We're going to be there if he wants us there, of course. And I want to see the show come back next year. So we'll see how it goes, right?
I think he'll come back. You know, yeah. I think he was so upset with everything, and that upsetness and that depression is going to turn into anger, and then it's going to turn into fight.
I hope so.
I think that's what's going to happen.
I hope so. That's usually what happens to me.
Not only were we at the Hall of Vape.
By the way, afterwards I went to Berlin for a few days. I got to mention this real quick.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I went. I've never been to Berlin before, so I went to Berlin for a few days, and I had a tattoo done there on my leg.
Where is it? Let's see it.
I'll show it to you another time.
Come on, just take your pants off.
I might have shown it. Didn't I show it to you?
You showed it to me.
Okay, well, hold on. Let me see if I can bring up the picture. Oh, but hold on. Let me see.
You got a picture you can send to me? Maybe I have it in the chat. Yeah. Hold on, let me.
Yeah, it's in the chat. If you search images, it was there. Berlin was a complete opposite. Than Stuttgart's like this, this very picturesque town, very clean. Obviously, Mercedes and all that is there. So it's a complete. Berlin's like very techy, high energy, melting pot. It kind of reminds me like a New York. There's people from all over the world there. Very big on the alternative EDM scene and music and clubbing and DJs and all that. Very diverse food options, which was unlike Stuttgart that was there. So yeah, there's my tattoo. You know what that symbolizes?
You carrying the entire world on your shoulders.
Me carrying Phil Busaro on my shoulders.
By the way, it's fun when I go to your chat message and I have to scroll through and find one image. It's like I got to get past the pictures of the girls and the horse penis. There was a horse penis, and there was like a whole bunch of other stuff. You guys should see our chat. It's pretty fun.
No, you should not see that.
No, you should.
That should be onlyfans.com for sure. But I had a great time in Berlin as well too. So I just want to put that out there. That first time visiting the city. So if you're there from around there or whatever, I had a great time there.
That's cool. Let's see what else. I had something up here.
Anything else from Germany?
Just like the Innokin booth, but I think this is more of a montage of the two different shows that we did, and it's just a photo montage.
Yeah, and we did announce the Eclipse zip at which is the box that takes the same Eclipse pod. The Eclipse was very, very popular last year. So the little box version of it is coming out. It'll be available soon everywhere.
There it is right there.
You go, right there. There's the picture right there. So very, very excited about that. And a new pod. The original pod was 0.8, which was a fantastic vape. Now they introduced a 1.2 ohm pod for the clips that's compatible with both devices. It gives you a little cooler vape, especially for the disposable users that are coming off and they want, they want to put like a high ice flavor into a pod. The 0.8 gets a little bit hot. So the 1.2 option is great for people that are trying to switch from disposables. And we're going to talk about the shift, because there's a shift happening, folks.
Yes.
And you're going to hear it here first in the disposable world. Yeah, George was there as well too. We haven't seen, well, Phil hasn't seen George in a while. And we had a great time. It was fantastic.
Speaking of George, if I go back here and if I close this, and let's see, I have a couple pictures here that are fun because David stopped by the booth. And when David is around,
we drink.
It's always a fun time. We drink.
We drink. That's what we do when David comes.
Yes. And they happen to have, if you guys have seen us do the One Shot Media show, we drink this moonshine that they have, right?
Yeah. It's fantastic.
A lot of it. We drink a lot of it.
Yeah.
And they had a booth at the Hall of Vape.
Yeah.
And David bought us several bottles and he brought it over to the booth and we started doing shots.
Yeah.
And what I was surprised was how George really went shot for shot with us.
He did. He had like 7 or 8 shots, which is a little bit surprising, but they had a new moonshine. There was like a citrus flavor. It was really good. It was really, really good. And we drank like 3 of those, I think, by the time the day ended. But that's what David does. When David comes around, and listen, I love David. I love One Shot Media. The entire crew is just fantastic. And it was great having him there, but it was great having everybody there.
Yeah.
Grim and Sam and Mark and Matt and all these people, even Steam Shots from Germany, all these people that were there. It was just fantastic having him there and reminiscing and talking about the past and talking about the future. And listen, if you guys remember, 4 or 5 years ago, there used to be 30 of us at these shows. And, now it's just us and we're still here. So to me, that was if you're going to take anything from this picture here, is that these guys that you see here on this picture, they were around 10 years ago. And there's not a lot of people that were around 10 years ago. So I'm very, very proud to be in that company. Great guys.
You and I did a talk. That was the Hall of Vape.
Yes.
Just like vaping around the world. And then the second day you weren't there because you were dealing with, customs.
Yeah, I was getting arrested.
Things like that. And, I was
selling
going to say,
VGPG.
I was going to say, usually when you're on stage, I always grab photos of you. Right.
Yeah.
But here's one time that I was on stage without you and there's no photos of me. And I would say like, dude, but you were getting arrested. So that is,
it was just bad timing. I could have told the customs agents, can you just please hold my charges for a second while I go take pictures of Phil?
Yeah, that would have been
But
nice.
it was funny. We went for a dinner the last night we were in Germany, in Stuttgart. They asked me to arrange dinner. Or George asked me to arrange dinner. So I booked a Greek restaurant that I know there in Stuttgart called Kostas. Just a fantastic place. I've eaten here before. So here you see the group that was there.
That was pretty impressive that I had that photo ready, though, right? That was pretty impressive.
That was pretty impressive. That was really, really good. Yeah. But I called ahead and I told them, listen, we're going to have a bunch of people. They accommodated us. We did it family style. They brought just a bunch of stuff and everybody was trying it. The food was just fucking fantastic. I think it was really, really good. The wine was fantastic. We just had a really, really good time at that last night. And it just goes to show you that no matter what happens, even if armed officers come in to disrupt your industry, we can still sit around afterwards and have a great dinner and enjoy ourselves and have great food and great friends. And the girl that's in the right that you see, the first girl that's doing the peace sign on the right, yeah, her name is Demi, D-E-M-I. She works for Innokin, and my name is Demi. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't have a point to make there, but her name is Demi and my name is Demi.
You two are made
There could
for
be
each
something
other.
there.
This is what Nick.
There could be something there.
That's what Nick looks like without a hat.
Yes.
Right there.
Yes.
I'm over here.
Yes, yes.
That's what Matt looks like with a hat.
Yes, always. Yes, yes.
This
It was great. It was fantastic.
This was a great meal. I highly recommend if you ever go to a good Greek restaurant. Have Dimitri go with you. You're gonna have an amazing meal.
Yeah, it was great. We had a really good time. Really enjoyed it.
Is Ian here? Yeah, Ian is here. Ian.
Ian? Oh yeah. Well, he's in the UK part, so
thank you very much for the jerky.
Yes,
delicious.
Yes. Beef jerky is just
burnt
fantastic.
my mouth. Can I put in a request for non-heated jerky next?
Of course you can.
All right.
Of course you can.
All right.
I like that spice. I'm not a fan of spicy. You know that. Like it's very.
No, you
but
don't like
this particular one, like I can tolerate it because you don't eat a lot of it, right? So if you take it like a little snack like that, it's really, really good, especially with whiskey. It's really good with whiskey. Yeah.
Hey, speaking of that, let's point out that watermelon peach is the #1 best-selling flavor in the unsalted line, and let's do a drink. Somebody was asking.
Cheers. It was funny because we were at the booth in both shows in Germany and in England, in Birmingham, and every time that Phil said it, anybody that was at the table with us was drinking.
I fucking love it. It's a global phenomenon.
Yeah.
I even at the show, I said it a couple times at the show, and people were like looking around for a drink. I think that's terrific.
It was fantastic. It was fantastic.
Maybe we should every bottle of unsalted.
Every butthole? Every bottle of what?
No, every bottle of watermelon peach comes with a bottle of Jack Daniels.
Yeah, that'll
sell some liquid, huh?
Yeah, I'm sure that will fly by
was Christina married to Philippe?
I don't know. Why, you think you got a chance?
Maybe, I don't know. She was cute. No.
Christina was very, very cute. And I think you'd make a great couple, but I think that she's with Phil. I think that she is.
She could be with Phil still.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. She could be with American Phil and then a British Phil. You get most of both worlds. Dual citizenship. That'd be great.
Okay, so we showed that.
All right. Let's move on to the UK show.
Let's move on to the UK show. Now, I don't have a lot of video from the UK show. And we already talked. We already showed Black Rose. Oh, there was a device that I saw at the Hall of Vape, and I almost pulled the trigger. Hold on, I got to close a lot of stuff, and I'll pull this up because it was really nice, and I was so close. Where is it? Here we go. Over here. It was from Mod Corporation. Mm-hmm. It was a Boro device, and it was just good looking. Look at that.
That's pretty.
Is that fucking cool or what?
Yeah, that's very nice.
And you know what? I still don't have a Boro device.
I mean, honestly, you're never going to use it, Phil. Because
look at that. That's hot. I would use that.
You would never use that. I'm going to tell you why.
I would use that. Don't tell me I wouldn't.
Can I tell you something? Can I just every Boro leaks and all the people that use Boros.
You always tell me that.
All the people that use Boros, they're just so stuck up and high end or whatever. Nobody wants to admit it, but every Boro leaks. I have Boros. I've tried every fucking Boro that's out there, and there's always an issue with Boros, and because of the airflow and the way that it comes in, nobody wants to admit it. But it's just it's like a niche. It's like their own thing, and you can't. Every time you say something bad about something, the people that use are like, "Oh, you don't know how to fucking build or whatever." Oh, yeah. I've been vaping for 13 years, motherfucker. I know how to build, but that's not the point. The point of what I'm trying to say is that I know you would never, you would vape it for 2 days and then it would sit on the shelf just like everything else I have. I'll build it for a couple of days and it goes on the shelf on my collection and then go back to a replaceable coil.
It's so true. It's so true. I think, and I talked to somebody about this at one of the shows. I think you change as a vapor over time. Some people know, some people yes. Back in the day, I built everything, right? Of course. Look, if you can build Emios devices, you can build anything.
Yes. By the way, Christina's married, so
if you were electronically joining resistance wire to no resistance wire and dealing with his 110 O-rings that he had in it, look, you can build anything. So I built, and I enjoyed building, right? But then you get to that point where it's like, I don't want to build. I just want to put this new coil in, and the new coil is just as satisfying, in my opinion. Yeah. Or maybe it's not just as satisfying, but it's satisfying enough. right?
So-
What? What are you
Yeah.
laughing at? Why are you laughing?
I'm laughing at the chat because here comes the 𝗏𝗏 fanboys.
I knew it. I knew as soon as you said something, you were going to get a lot of hate.
They don't always leak, but a lot of condensation buildup. Yeah,
See?
listen, that's what I'm saying. Is like,
Like any pod.
They all do it. They all do it. It's okay if you're happy vaping it and you're happy with it. I'm happy for you. I really am. I'm not bitching about it. All
You're
I'm
bitching.
saying is that just be honest about it. That's all. Don't
You're
say
bitching
like,
about it.
oh, this is the fucking best vape. That's. By the way, Christina's married. Just want to put
She
that out.
is?
Just want to make sure.
Damn.
By the way, I'm collecting all your questions. Bill's collecting all your questions. He's putting them in my private chat, and I'll get to them at some point. Trust me. I will. Okay.
I'm sad
Let's
now.
move on.
I'm
We're
sad
behind.
now.
We're behind it. It's yeah.
I'm sad now. We're just going to end the show. Good night.
That's he's gonna masturbate again tonight. That's okay. Listen.
But
Let's
anyway,
move
I
on
like
to
that.
UK. We
By
have a
the
lot
way,
of stuff to talk about.
when I was there at that booth, they're like, Phil, send us your address. We'll send you one. And I said no. I said no. I should have said yes. But
No, it's okay. Yeah,
that's the way-
you're never
that's-
gonna use
You
it.
know, that's the way I
Get
am.
something
'Cause I-
cheap.
'cause I
Get
felt
like a
like
cheap.
I felt like he wanted a lot of promotion, and but
Yeah, no. You can't.
after
do that
the
anymore.
fact,
But
look,
listen,
if you want to send me one, yeah, it's okay.
but listen, get a cheap borrow device, use it for 2 days, put it on the shelf, and then come back and tell me, Dimitri, you're right. That's all. That's all I'm asking.
All right.
All right, let's go. UK. Let's do it.
What can we show about the UK? We can show the awards and the dinners. That's what I've got for
Yeah.
the UK.
So listen, we went to Birmingham, UK, a show that we do twice a year, the Vapor Expo UK. Honestly, slightly better than the last one. I'm not gonna lie. A bigger ohm zone, more, a little bit more for the advanced vapor. Still in the corner, still not as big as I like to see. Still not a lot of selection because you know what? Phil Busardo came all the way from America and wanted to get drip tips. There was not one motherfucking booth selling drip tips at the UK show. And look, I get it. Whatever.
There were a couple of, to be fair, there were a couple of tips over in the ohm zone, but nothing that I was looking for. They were all the large, like, direct lung tips.
Yeah, A10s. So listen, all I'm saying is that it was better. Congratulations to the organizers. We did talk to them a little bit in private as well too about the show. So it was nicer than what we saw last time. Of course, overwhelming amount of disposables at the show because in the UK right now, disposable is the hottest product that's out there. So we get it. We understand that. We totally understand. If it wasn't for disposables, you folks have to understand there wouldn't be a Vapor Expo because nobody would have any booths. You can't support an event like that if you don't sell booth space. So of course there was an overwhelming amount of disposables, but better than the last one. And I hope that October is going to be even better than this one.
And again, looking out, seeing what people were using, a lot more open systems than I saw last year's round of events, right?
I think more advanced vapors turned out for this one because of the announcement of the ohm zone and all that. To me, of course, the highlights was to meet the guys from the show that we go on to, Paul and Nick Evans, and I forget all their names. The guys, getting to meet them, coming over, the FV Vape show, Pete and AJ, of course, good friends. Getting to see them and hanging out and talking with these guys, we just had a fantastic time. By the way, Paul, I think, is the guy that is launching his own liquid line. And I got to try pineapple upside down cake that he had.
It was good.
It was great. It was this liquid. I don't vape it. It's not my profile, but I do know good liquid and bad liquid. He's going to do very, very well with that. So I wish him good luck in his venture with that.
There are a bunch of nice guys too.
I picked up the serendipity line that everybody kept talking about on the shows that we have been on. So very, very excited to try that as well too. And I think it's called what is it called? The Saturday Vape Show? Is it?
I think that's what it's called, the Saturday Vape Show.
So getting to meet all these guys was just fantastic, and hanging out with them and talking to them. I got to see Paul's wife. She's pretty hot. I ain't gonna lie to you. And she's taller than him as well too. I just want to point that out. I'm not gonna let that go because it's just like a little advantage that I have. I'm taller than him, so she changes her mind or whatever in the future. We
have a lot of fun on that show too. They ask fun, interesting questions.
Yeah. It's one of the best shows that we have been on. We're looking forward to coming back on and talking about stuff like that. But this, what I like about people like that, and Pete and AJ from the FV Vape Show, and the guys from the Saturday show is that, you know, everybody's involved in somehow in the business. We get that, but you can support each other. You can uplift somebody else as well too. Just because, you know, I work for Jam Monster, or we sell Unsalted, or Paul sells his line. If something is good, it's good. That's what it boils down to. So you can help somebody else and make them successful. That's what the industry is about. That's what it should be about. Unlike people that were, you know, walking around or driving around the show like Vape and Vic or whatever.
Right.
But I'm just saying that it's just it was weird to me. Like one day he was in a wheelchair, one day he was not. It was just I don't know how that goes, but
I said hello to him. I said hello.
Did he say hello back?
He looked at me. He looked my way and he smiled. I think it was.
First of all, he can't see straight. So maybe
you're very mean. You have to have a.
No, I'm just saying because you know, because of the glasses and all that. Maybe he couldn't see you. Maybe he didn't see you. That's what I'm saying.
You need to have a more warm, welcoming heart like mine.
I do. All I'm saying, I'm being completely honest. Maybe he didn't see you.
And
he can't
when you
see
talk
very
about
well.
when you talk about,
have you seen on his videos? Like in his videos, when he's looking at airflow, he like brings up to like look at his videos. I'm being completely honest. I'm not joking around. He goes like this. Like maybe he didn't see you because you were far away.
It could be. But he did smile.
Why didn't he come talk to you?
I don't know. That would be an epic photo if he came over and I took a photo with him. Could you imagine? I would have. And by the way, when you talk about uplifting, like, you know, other vendors and everything, absolutely. I mean, for example, like I just talked about Christina and Black Rose Elixirs, right? But of course, that was before that I knew she was married, so that'll never happen again, right?
Fuck Black Rose Elixirs. Horrible.
That's a joke.
Dog shit.
Hey, did everybody
I'm
see?
joking.
Did everybody see my shirt? Hold on a second here. Hold on.
Oh, this is great.
Do you have volume on this?
Sure,
oh, there's no volume on it.
There's definitely volume on there.
Look, the volume is up.
Well, I mean, maybe it's not picking up your volume, but it's definitely volume.
It would be playing volume, but it's not. But anyway.
I'll run through it. So Pete and AJ from the FV Vape show brought us these two shirts that had QR codes on them. And that was just very, very nice of them. We love these guys. I don't love them that much, but I mean, I love these, especially, you know, I mean, Pete keeps talking about like it's fucking 10 million views. It's just like so annoying. But anyway, so they brought these two shirts that they got for us, and I was trying to figure out which one was mine. So they said, well, you have to scan them first. So he scans the white one, and the white one, when you scan it, it goes to basically a phrase that says "fuck you." So automatically I says, "That's me. That's my shirt for sure." And then there's the black one that you scan it, and then when you scan the black one, it goes to.
Hold on.
I don't want to give it away. It goes to.
Did it not scan?
Yeah, it scanned.
It scans in the video, right?
So it goes to Pornhub.com.
So that's mine.
That definitely feels. That
is mine.
I should have worn mine today, but
I'm looking forward to being out in public and somebody's going to look at my shirt and they're going to be like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Just scan me. Just
scan it,
and you'll see." I really like those guys.
Yeah.
Like if they and I told them this too. If they were closer, those are guys that I would hang out with.
Sure, of course.
For sure.
And we got to hang out with him at the Vapor Round Awards as well too. That was a pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie to you. The Vapor Round Awards was a pretty impressive venue and setup. I was really, really shocked to see this.
Really well done, guys. I mean, like everything, the audio, the visuals, the lighting, everything. Take a look at this. So there's going to be a little bit of video here too, but it's an awards dinner. So you'll see a little bit of video here coming up. Lasers. Bogan.
We want to see you.
Innokin had a little promotion here.
Thank you very much to Innokin.
And somebody won an award.
Yes, Jam Monster for mixed berries, best fruit liquid. Yeah.
Congratulations, there, buddy.
Me and Monir, and with Pete and AJ, they came up. I just told them to come up as bodyguard just in case somebody tries to take the award from me. So that's what I had Pete and AJ up there for. But me and Monir accepted the award on behalf of Monster Vape Labs for mixed berry, best fruit.
Yeah, just for the record, Pete and AJ, they got invited up on stage. Monir was up on stage, and Phil noticed that not anywhere on the stage because I was asked to take photos. Remember the photo thing?
Yes.
Right? And of course, I wasn't getting arrested at the time, so I was available to take the photos.
But Pete and AJ won best reviewer.
They did.
Beating out Grim Green that got the second place in the show.
Did.
So yeah, I'm not laughing. I'm laughing because, you know, it's a little bit funny, but Pete and AJ got best reviewer. So congratulations for the hard work that they have put into their reviews of Vaper products, beating out the famous Grim Green for best reviewer. Very, very proud of them.
Listen, Nick,
very proud of them.
I'm going to jump at Nick's side. The fact that Nick was even second place after all these years, bravo, brother.
Yes, of course.
Bravo. My name nowhere to be found in the review, but of course, then again, I'm not reviewing that much, if at all, anymore at this point.
Yes.
Yes. The one thing, like Pete and AJ, it's tiring because they look at reviewing so much differently than I did, right? Yeah. I never did it. You guys know this. I never did it for popularity, for fame, for views, for subscribers. I did it to give you guys really good information on the product that you were buying, where you spend your money. And it wasn't about the business side for me. Now it's way different. It's so different. And these guys are all making money with it, right? I mean, they're making money. They're promoting. They're into numbers. They're into the statistics. It makes my head spin. It really does. It gives me a headache when I listen to them. But God bless them. They know what they're doing. They have a formula, and it's working for them. So congratulations, and keep making money with it, man. I'm
absolutely.
I might be asking for some questions here pretty soon.
Yes,
and lasers,
absolutely,
by the
absolutely.
way, lasers. I'm very into lasers right now, buddy.
Yes.
I'm into laser engraving, and I might be doing some videos here soon. I got my eye on like 3 different units, so maybe that'll help some of you guys. I'll custom engrave your stuff. But
I'm trying to see where I have a picture of. If I look at my archive here. I have a picture of AJ, the time that he realized that he's getting the award. Let me see if I can bring it up here.
Oh, you have it? All right.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Can you see that?
Can you send it to me?
I can't. It's on my Instagram.
Oh.
That's how shocked he was for winning the award. Look at that face on him.
Because
it looks like
they were. We missed that award. But they were sitting at the same table that Nick was, right?
Yes.
And when they called when they called the category of the award, Pete and AJ pointed at Nick, and they're like, you're gonna win," and then they called their name, and they were like shocked, from what I understand. I was
so awkward. I can imagine that was very awkward. But yeah, congratulations to the boys. But look, overall, it was a good. It was a very impressive dinner. We also got invited by Vapor's Cloud, Brian. To go to dinner. I think it was the first night. We went to a Chinese restaurant. We had a really nice dinner. And then we had karaoke as well, too. It was a lot of fun. So thank you to Brian from Vapor's Cloud for inviting us to go there.
We have a special karaoke singer for you.
Yeah.
It was a nice day.
That was fun. A lot of fun.
So into it.
One left, you're right. Best trip, always. I know you'll be at my show, watching, waiting, commiserating.
Amazing singer. But I had to cut it off there because he kept inserting the word "cunt" into the lyrics. And I don't understand why he was doing that. It's really weird.
Yes, it's just part of his. There isn't much to
vocabulary.
review except disposables, says 𝗍𝗵𝗏. Listen, whatever pays the bills, Steve, at this point, I guess, when it comes to to reviews. But the guy that was singing right there was 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗀. Of course, that's where he was.
Singing 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗀.
And he did good. It was good.
Very good.
Not all karaoke was good that night. That was good. He was one of the good ones.
There were a couple people that were good. Bogan was also up on stage with me during the global vape talk, and it was me, it was Nick, it was Bogan, and it was Matt. And you know, Bogan he is the epitome of you can't judge a book by the cover, right?
1000%.
Because if you look at him, you're going to get a certain opinion in your mind. Unfortunately, a lot of people will. But man, he's just the nicest guy, really, really well spoken. He had a lot of like interesting things to say about like what's going on in Australia when it comes to vaping. My compliments to Bogan. Just always enjoy seeing him, hanging out with him, talking to him. Just a really, really nice guy.
I will say without no doubt one of the nicest guys in vaping.
Right.
And I don't say that often.
Right next to me.
I really don't say that.
He really doesn't. Right next to me
One of the
and
nicest
Mark
guys.
Todd.
Yes. Unfortunately, every time we see Sam, something bad happens. Last time we saw Sam in Dubai, our booth got raided. Last time we saw Sam in Germany, our booth got confiscated. So that makes the watermelon peach feel what?
Let me point that out. Okay. This is watermelon peach, the #1 most stolen, most confiscated, and the best selling in the unsalted line. Right there.
You should do 3 shots for that.
Speaking of which, will we polish it off tonight? I know it's really
no doubt.
low.
There's no doubt.
The good news is I have another bottle ready to go. And I think you guys remember because I polished off the last bottle during the show.
And one of the things that I saw that I found interesting at the UK show is we're starting to see a shift.
Yes. And it's a shift
I have
that
to
I
talk
like.
about this. I have to talk about this a little bit. We made a deal in the UK with Kingston e-liquids. Kingston e-liquids is a very, very old e-liquid company in the UK for a refillable disposable. So what is a refillable disposable, Phil?
A refillable disposable is it's basically an open system, all right? It's an open system that you open, you fill with e-liquid, you charge it just like anything else, right? But when the flavor goes bad or the coil goes bad, you throw the entire thing away, okay? So you can think of it as a disposable tank, right? You can think of it as a disposable, but it allows you to use your own liquid. It allows you to do collaborations like this one, right? Let's say that all disposables tomorrow are pulled from the market. This is going to be the device that people are going to use. Not only that, but the e-liquid manufacturing, the e-liquid companies are going to explode again. That's truly what I feel. They're going to explode again, right?
It brings me to this question that Paul Music asked earlier. So that's a perfect segment. Do you think if disposables become illegal due to an environmental law in the future, that open vaping systems will once become more innovative and the building hobbyists might make a comeback? So the answer is no. The answer is no to the second part. I think that the innovation and the building and all this hobbyist stuff is not going to make a comeback. But the open systems will make a comeback as well too. But how will the open systems be successful? That will be is how can we make open systems the least complicated they have ever been? So the innovation is going to work a little bit backwards instead of the way that we are used to it in the vaping industry. So what are we used to in the vaping industry? We're used to making a device, and then when that device becomes popular, what do? We make it bigger. we'll put 2 batteries inside. And then when that becomes popular, what do? We change the menu system. We put volts, we put watts, we put temperature control. We make the system more complicated. And then when that, what are we doing then? Then we're going to make a 3 battery mod. We're going to add 3 batteries to it. That will not come back. But what will come back is open systems that are easy to use, satisfying to the consumer, and the least complicated for the consumer to use in order to transition them from the disposable into an open system. And to me, that's not a bad thing. That's something that me and Phil have advocated for the last 4 years with Innokin. I'm not lying to you. This is all documented, folks. For the last 4 years, we've been calling for this. Unfortunately, the market hasn't adapted yet. But now what we're seeing is, we saw Just Juice do this. Jam Monster is preparing a huge project that's going to have a refillable, disposable that goes with it. Oxfam's putting it out there. Dr. Vapes is putting it out there. There's a lot of companies that are working on this system because, let's face it, disposables are going away. Whether you like it or not, whether you agree with them or not, they're not going to be around. It's plain and simple. In the US, shipments are being seized right now at the border. In Europe, we're seeing countries like France call for the ban of disposables by the end of the year. UK just put out a report today about illegal disposables being in the country. The reality is disposables are not going to be around for much longer. So systems like this made sense. What I like about Innokin's system and the S1 is that it mimics a disposable. The vape, the draw on it, the look of it is like a disposable. It's inexpensive, which is, again, a huge thing with disposable users, right? You can't get a disposable user into a 40 euro device coming from a 7 euro device, but you can get them into a 15 euro device, especially if, look what Kingston did. They put on the package flat out up to 3,500 puffs. In countries like Greece, where we have a 600 puff limit because we have 2 mLs, when a consumer of a disposable sees this box on the shelf that says 3,500 puffs, immediately they're going to be drawn to it. And then you can go into the sales pitch and telling them, oh, listen, this is a refillable. It vapes just like a disposable, but you're going to get 3,500 puffs for the price of 2 disposables. And that's going to get more and more people to try it. So the change is happening. The shift is happening. And who's going to be there to fill that market gap? It's going to be the smart companies that are actually seeing the value in having a refillable disposable on the market right now.
I mean, this really allows any liquid company to do collaborations, right? Like we're talking about doing a collaboration with Unsalted and the S1 possibly. Unsalted, of course, being the #1 best-selling flavor in the Unsalted line. I just wanted another shot. But it's really interesting. Like, the language of vaping has changed over the years, right? You remember, we talk in watts and we talk in resistance and ohms and we talk in milliliters and milligrams. The new generation, they talk in puffs. That's what they understand. They understand puffs. That's their language of vaping. And this is very interesting too, because I heard this last night. Dimitri, are you aware of, well, I mean, it's really this, right? But bar juice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, what's bar juice?
It's basically the elf bar juice in a bottle.
Right. Bar juice. And here's the crazy thing, how everything goes around again. Bar juice is a fancy name for 50/50 e-liquid, what we've been using since day one.
Yes, for 13 years.
Since day one. Since day one, when the ratio was called PG-VG. Remember when it was PG-VG, and then all of a sudden it became VG-PG? I never got the memo, right? But even now, like when I type stuff, I always type VG-PG, and then next to it I put VG-PG so that it's clear, right? But here we are on this day, so many years later. Not only is 50/50 back, but it's got a cool name like bar juice. So it's really interesting to see this whole thing kind of come around.
It's coming around. But it is going to go into that simplified
absolutely
stage.
Absolutely.
One of the most popular, and Bill sent me a message about this, the Slide Tube. Why was the Slide Tube so popular? Because the Slide Tube had no menu. You put a tank on it. It read the resistance. You press the button and you vape. It's a refillable, right? But it had no menu system. It had no screens. It didn't have no ohms, no wattage, no nothing. You put the coil on, it read what the coil resistance was, it gave you that wattage that it needed, and it's done. And it helped a lot of people quit smoking. And trust me, we're trying to get another version out on the market as well, too, right now. We're really, really trying. But why was it popular? Because it catered to the majority of people that were trying to make the switch from smoking to vaping in a simplified way. This is what the disposable did. Whether you like it or hate it, it's exactly what it accomplished. Did it get people to start vaping as well? Of course. Of course it did. But guess what? If there were not on the market, people would start smoking. So I can't hear that argument. I have to see it from both sides. If kids are going to start something, I'd rather they start vaping than them smoking, okay? But the shift is going to be into refillable systems that are going to be very, very simplified. And I'm talking about extremely simplified, but also we have the technology now to make them extremely satisfying, right?
Right. And we can give them adjustability, but we give them adjustability like this, like the Adept, right?
Yeah.
Simple. Come on, focus. There we go. Simple bars. One bar is low, a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher, right? So I think, and I've been saying this for a while, that the interfaces need to change, need to go away.
Yeah, sure.
You, me, everybody in the chat, we understand wattage, resistance.
Sure.
The disposable user, no idea. No idea. What do they know? Number of puffs and how well it satisfies them. That's what they know.
Right? Jenny says that the refillable disposables are just salt right now. So yeah, of course. I mean, they are, because they're trying to take the users of the disposables, which is all salt, Nick, into that system. But the beauty about the refillable disposable is that you can put whatever fucking liquid you want in it.
Right. So I think the collaborations to this point have been salt, right? But don't forget, I mean, it's just a device. And eventually the device is going to be available without the collaboration, and then you put whatever you want in it. Like Watermelon Peach, the #1 best-selling flavor in the unsalted line, which is a great choice. Somebody was asking, yes, Watermelon Peach. Watermelon Peach is a 50-50. Everything else in unsalted is a 60-40 VG.
Peggy from E6 Source asks, how many puffs are in a 30 mil? 9,000, Peggy. Of course. I'm the brains of this relationship. But that is 9,000 true puffs. By Chinese standards, it's 18,000 puffs. But true puffs, it's 9,000 puffs in a 30 mil bottle.
By Chinese standards, it's 493,000 puffs.
Yes. Is the unsalted juice 50-50 or 70-30? It's 60-40, or it's averaging 60-40. But
did you even listen to what I just said?
Again,
I just said that. Somebody asked me what, and I said Watermelon Peach is 50-50.
I just saw the question in the
and I said everything else is 60-40 VG.
All right, let's go back to the UK. Let's finish this up real quick so I can get to the questions. We're done? Nothing else in the UK?
Oh, wait. No, I do have, a couple of things.
Yes.
Just some mentions. I met a really nice guy with Bespoke. Where I just have to find everything. I'm sorry, pal. I'm doing the best I can. Here we go.
Doing a fantastic job, Phil.
This was the Ohm Zone at the UK Vape event. And it was bespoke vaping goods, and he just had a lot of nice, like handmade stuff.
Nice stuff,
right?
Yeah.
He had pipes, he had mods, he had mouthpieces, no small mouthpieces. He had pens. He had a beautiful array of different kinds of devices, stab woods, different materials. And here's the guy right here coming up. There he is. He was just a super nice guy. And I was looking, I'm like, wow, that's really, really nice stuff. And he's like, Phil, why don't you send me a message and I'll send you something. And again, I was like, I don't need anything. But what he did have that I liked was this. He had really unique stab wood and acrylic with stuff like in it. Burn tabs.
Yeah.
Right? Really, really cool stuff.
Is that pistachio shells?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Like I said, he acrylics, but with stuff in the acrylic.
I'd like to get one. Can he make me one with like your tears in it? I can have it.
My tears. I was gonna say sex toys, but it'd be too.
No, it's too big.
Too big. Yeah, absolutely. I think you could do anything. And again, I can't. I actually had to cut the website out of that photo that I just showed with him. But on tasteyourjuice.com, I will have all of the links if you're interested from Bespoke.
Fantastic.
And then finally, ESG, the Skyline, one of my favorite tanks. He had a
Vasily's such a great guy, man. Such a great dude. You know, he came over to us when the booth got raided, and he just asked. Again, he speaks German as well too. Anything he can do, translate. No, he's just from all the Greeks that were there. You know, fuck the Greeks. He was the only one that actually came and showed interest and tried to help. And e-smoke guru. I mean, it's just a great dude. Always loves us, and we love him back as well too. So I appreciate him a lot.
So Vasilis is one of my favorite people in the industry. He understands high end, right? Yeah. He understands that high end is not just the device, it's the whole experience. It's the ordering, it's the packaging, it's the support. So he has it's more of a collector's item. It's a bridge for
Boros.
What?
For Boro.
For Boro. The ones that leak and condensate all over the place. But look at the packaging on this, right? So here's the ESG booth. And let me click play over here. And the presentation on this is just fucking cool. And again, it's called the Skyline Bridge, or the Skynet Bridge, the Skynet. So you can see right there, it's called the Skynet, but it's the packaging. And you're going to see it here. I'm holding it. It's coming. It's coming. Everything he does is just so beautiful. And this is the packaging in the background. Look at how it comes packaged. It comes packaged in this acrylic that says ESG on it. And it's like kind of like the Skynet logo because it's a triangle. Fucking cool. It's just cool. Right? So, Vasilis, my compliments to you and everything you do, my friend. It's all just...
You should cut this out and make it a YouTube short, by the way. So I'm not telling you to do more work, but you should.
All right.
I will. Christina from Black Rose asks, what's the resistance? I tried the Ox Bar as we did some work with them, but the resistance killed the flavor. I understand that it has to be cautious because of the device longevity, though. Let me tell you something, Christina. As somebody has tried, because Phil has not tried it. I have the Ox Bar here. It's not good. And I'm not just saying that because it's a competitor. I'm not. The vape is not. The vape is not good on this device. It's a dry vape. It does not.
We're not talking to Christina anymore.
Oh yeah, Christina. Aside from the fact that you broke Phil's heart, the vape on this is not good because I always try all the products to competitive. The Endura S1 is a 1.1 ohm mesh canthal coil. And the beauty about it is that it is designed to work both with salt and free-base liquid as well too. However, on collaborations, we do have 3 versions of the S1 coil. So if a company wants to work with Innokin and package this up, you can send your liquid to Innokin and they can try the coil that's going to work best with it and package it with the coil that's going to work with it. Nobody does this in China except Innokin on this particular, and I did it for this particular reason. I tried this product first. I was not happy with it. I'm not, and I just tried it because that's that was available at the time. And you have to have options when it comes to liquid. There's not one coil that's going to make all liquid taste good, right? So what we try to do with a 1.0 ohm coil is satisfy the majority of it. I use free-base e-liquid as well too. I use a 12 milligram like Phil for my daily vape, and the S1 works fantastic with it. And I can get about truly 12 refills on it, so 12 2 ml tanks of my free-base liquid inside. Now, they advertise 20. I'm not doubting that it can get a 20 refill rate on it, depending on the liquid. There might be some liquids that you're going to get 5 out of it, or 6 or 7. Every liquid is different. So it's very, very important, as we have always said, is to match the liquid with the coil instead of matching the coil with the liquid. This is what everybody does wrong. They make one coil and then they put a bunch of liquid inside and they're like, oh, here you go. But what should happen first is take and cater that coil to that particular liquid that you're looking to pair it up with. and that's important for it to be successful in the market.
Yeah, on the Innokin website, they actually say S1 works best with a 50/50, and they call it bar juice. By the way, heard a lot about 𝗪𝗃 at the UK show, and went by their booth, and they were very, very busy, and they appeared to have some of the more popular pod systems there. As a matter of fact, I did grab myself one of these right there.
Yeah.
And what do you guys think about me actually doing a review on something like this? You want me to do a review on it? But what I was thinking about doing is doing a review differently, right? I know you guys used to like the reviews, but what if I do like a live unboxing and setup, and then like later on do like an evaluation? Okay, I used it for a week. What did I think of it? You guys want to see that? You want to see me do that? I'll do that. Maybe after Italy, I'll do that. Okay.
I would pleasure myself to.
Would you really?
Yes.
By the way, that 𝗪𝗃 device that you have, that totally reminds me of the Evolve device that adjusts with the other.
It's a straight copy of it.
It looks just like it.
The device is a straight. I didn't want to say, but to me, ultimately, it boils down to the vape quality, and the vape quality is just not there. It really isn't. And folks that are going to try it, let me know as well too. But it's just a dry vape. It's not saturated. It's not flavorful, and it dies very, very quick. Plus, it has all this plastic inside to make it 2 ml. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. You probably can see it right there. You see the white parts that are down here?
Yeah.
On the bottom of the tank?
Yeah.
To cut down the capacity and make it 2 ml, they've put these fillers inside that is just kills the taste even more.
They put a bung in there. Yeah. No, Craig, I can't do a full Basardo because I can't measure outputs and stuff like that. So this would just be something a little bit different. All right, we're running out of time. And we do have to talk about DashVapes USA.
Then we have some questions to get to as well.
All right, you go ahead, do the questions.
All right, so let me go ahead and do the questions first. I have to
maybe I can answer some of them too. Thank you,
Thomas. What's the basic difference with vaping between Europe and USA legislation? The process of approving products is completely different between USA and EU. EU is based on the Tobacco Products Directive that gives direction to all the EU countries on a basic set of principles for them to allow vapor products to come onto the market. And then every country can also take their own measures as they seem fit. For example, Germany, Italy, Greece, they don't adhere to the 2 ml restriction of the tank. Other countries like the UK, they're very strict about the 2 ml tank. Across the board, there's a 20 milligram cap on nicotine and other restrictions for you to file your products, a certain set of testing that has to be done by emissions, all within reason and affordable for every company to do. In the US, it's a monopoly system where in order for you to get your product authorized by the FDA to be sold, you have to spend millions, millions, and millions of dollars, and a threshold that is nearly impossible, as we have seen, because there has not been one flavored product, not even menthol, been granted an authorization in America to date, and in my opinion, it will never happen, for any flavored product or menthol product to come on the market. So the biggest difference is that in the US, we have a monopoly, and then in the EU, we have sort of a monopoly that's still, as far as TBD2 is concerned, so far achievable. We don't know what TBD3 is going to bring. But you're going to see here, as Phil has put on the screen, the latest denials by the FDA, 250 plus flavored and tobacco flavored e-liquids. When they call it tobacco, it's mostly menthol tobacco that was rejected by the FDA because it did not meet the threshold. And some of these companies that have been rejected spent millions of dollars in their application. So the biggest difference between our legislation is money. That's what it boils down to. One is a monopoly. One is still allowing products to be in the market in the EU, even with some restrictions. All right. Next question. Hold on. Let me make sure I advertise all that. All right. Christina, Black Rose, your favorite, Black Rose elixirs. Will you be at the other expos? Christina, we will be at every expo. For us, spring and fall is, we do about 20 expos a year. at our tender age after all these years. We will be in Italy this weekend, me and Phil. I will be in Barcelona and in Madrid, Spain, the following weekend. And then we're going to be in Dubai for the World Vape Show. And I think that's that's it for this season. And then in September, we're going to start back up. We have Romania, Poland, Bulgaria, Greece, a bunch of shows as well, too. So, yes, we're probably going to be at every show. But at this point, you're married, so it doesn't really make any difference. We're not going to come see you. Next question. This is a good question you can answer, Phil.
Okay.
From Paul Bua Music. Do you think DIY e-liquid is pretty much a thing of the past? There used to be such a big community built around it, and Flavor Art was the big flavor company to use for DIY.
I just ordered flavors. I just ordered PG and VG from Bull City Flavors. So I don't think it's a thing of the past. I think the community is going to get a lot smaller, right? But I don't think it's as a matter of fact, I think that hardcore DIY community is going to be one of the longest running communities in the industry, right? Because they know how to go and get their flavors and their PG and their VG.
I agree.
The problem becomes the nicotine. It becomes more challenging to get the nicotine.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think DIY is going away anytime soon. Is it as passionate and hot as it was a few years ago? Probably not. But I think you're going to see more people getting into DIY, even if they're low level. Don't forget, there's probably a lot of people like me. I DIY when I'm in the States, my pineapple freeze or whatever. But I don't get on the forums or the Facebooks and I post about it and all that. I do it. I know this recipe. I know that if something happens, I'm good. I have something to go. I have some nicotine in my freezer. I can make liquid. I can make my wife a strawberry banana if she wants. But they might not be as loud as they were a few years ago. But then again, there's a lot of sectors of the vaping industry that are not allowed. The sub-ohming has gone away. The hobbyists have gone away. The triceptorous, rhinoceros, dinoceros, Philbusardian, tanned coils are gone. They're just not as loud as they used to be a few years ago. Are they going to go away? I don't think so. I think it's going to get stronger. I think the DIY is going to get stronger.
Yeah.
Pico, will you be relying on Phil to do all the Italian meatball translations again this year when we go to Italy?
Absolutely.
The meatball video always makes me funny when she patted the ball. It just always gets me. I can't wait to get to Verona. I can't wait to learn more about Italian history from you when we get to. By the way, we're flying into Bologna. You know
Bologna.
That, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're flying into there, and then I'm driving. I'm sure I'm getting a ticket. I got a ticket in Germany just a couple of weeks ago. I'm sure I'm getting a ticket in Italy as well too.
Actually, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but Bologna is actually the home of bologna. It was originally,
I did not know that.
It was originally an Italian sausage, right? And what happened was when they were making the sausage, they pumped too much air into it, and it got a little bit bigger, right? And it kind of stretched out the casing a little bit. And they called it bologna after the
wow,
there.
That's fantastic. I didn't know that. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Christina, so if I swap Phil for Phil, do I get to go to Dubai? Listen, Christina, there's definitely a lot of parameters for you to go to Dubai that we can talk in private, not publicly on YouTube, but swapping Phil for Phil. It's not. There's a whole list of requirements. It's like a movie star when they ask for stuff in their green room before they go on stage. There's a whole list.
Just imagine the PMTA, but more complicated than that.
Yes.
It's kind of like that. Yeah. But the short answer is yes. Yeah. There. We got to get to the dash.
Wait. I have two more.
Okay. We're gonna run a little bit late tonight.
Does your wife go to any? This to me. Does your wife go to any expos with you? No, I only take my girlfriends to expos. Hanky Panky asks. One more thing.
True.
From Paul, I always loved your reviews, Phil. You even got out the measurement tool, the scale, and the full works when reviewing each device. You had the most information of all vape channels. It was just a comment. I want to put it out there because you are the best, Phil. So I agree with Paul.
I love you. I appreciate that. I still have the scale. I still have the calipers. I got my oscilloscope is behind me somewhere. It's all there. It's all ready to go. It's a matter of getting the passion back. How about that? You know,
the only thing he uses those calipers for now is to measure his penis, and every week he does like stretching exercises, and then he measures it to see if it's gonna, you know.
Well,
but
yeah, we'll talk more about
it
that
doesn't.
later.
It doesn't.
I've figured out the maximum way to measure by pushing the ruler in, but not breaking skin. Not breaking skin is important because
that's very
as
important.
soon as you break the skin, it's not a valid measurement.
It doesn't count. It doesn't count.
No.
All right, let's go. DashVapes USA.
All right, so DashVapes USA. If you guys haven't found out, if you haven't heard, we have now DashVapes Canada. That's where it started. We have DashVapes EU. Dimitri, you're very familiar with DashVapes EU.
Of course, it's in Greece.
Right, it's Greece. And now we have DashVapes USA. So I'm not going to say more about it, but if you don't know, DashVapes is the company that manufactures all of the unsalted line, the noob line as well, right? Including watermelon peach, the #1 best-selling flavor in the unsalted line. DashVapes.
Christina, are you drinking? You better be drinking, Christina. You can't go to Dubai if you're not drinking.
And by the way, all right, you know what? I'm gonna play the video first, and then I'm gonna ask you guys for a favor. How about that?
Let's do it.
Oh, and this video about 10 minutes long, but it's a nice walk through the facility and a little interview with Shy.
So we got DashVapes Canada.
Yep.
We've got DashVapes EU.
We do.
And now we got DashVapes US.
Yeah, so our goal is to make sure that we could establish a facility in jurisdictions that are pretty popular for us to make sure that the customer is able to get fast shipping, really good price, and the best service they could get. So that's the 3 pillars we always work on. We want to make sure that the price is affordable, but most importantly, the service the customer is receiving is absolutely phenomenal, and the shipping time is super fast, and cheap for shipping as well. So that's really where we focus on. That's what we established Europe. We saw that we had a lot of orders within the European Union. We established a facility in Athens, Greece, to make sure we could service those customers quickly with the same service that our Canadian customers came to expect. After that, the natural progression was to do the same for the United States. We noticed that we got a lot of customers coming from the US, so we wanted to make sure we could service them the best way we can, because shipping from Canada to the US was A, expensive, and B, slow. So we wanted to make sure we increased the efficiency of the customer receiving their product, as well as the service that they're able to get, because we have more control locally in the US.
When people go to DashVapes, it automatically gets them to the right area, right? So if they're in Canada and they go to DashVapes, they get the Canadian version, right?
Exactly. So if you go from Canada, it geolocates your IP address, directs you to the Canadian version. If you go from New York, it'll go to the US version. If you go from Germany, it'll go automatically to the European version.
Okay. So now, when somebody goes to DashVapes, it automatically gives them to puts them in the US site.
Exactly.
And they're going to get US pricing. They're going to get US shipping.
Yeah.
And how do you ship?
So we we have our own service. It's called Wheels. We've developed it in Canada, and it uses multiple different local couriers to deliver to a last mile courier that delivers to your house. So shipping is super fast. It's pretty much anywhere in the US you could expect it to be between, I'd say, 1 to 3 days. And we always use a priority version of that shipping. So if the courier offers a faster version, that's what we're going to use. And you get free shipping on orders of $35 or more. So it's very affordable.
That's easy to do. $35
exactly.
is easy.
It's a couple packs of coils, a couple bottles of juice. Yeah.
Like watermelon peach, the #1 best-selling flavor in the unsalted line. When are you going to change the name of that? We should change the name of that today.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should do it now.
Yeah. All right. Now, are you going to install a elevator for when Dimitri shows up?
I think I'll just carry him in my bag. He's just getting down.
And your conference room. So how much work, what did the building look like before?
Oh, it looked terrible.
Terrible?
So we did the floors, the walls, the ceilings. Obviously, we built out the lab downstairs. And there was quite a bit of work, but we got it done, I think, in about 4 weeks.
And what's the square footage on this?
It's 15,000.
15,000. So we were just upstairs, now we're downstairs. This is the main floor. Your reception area, right?
Yep.
I think this is
So these are all going to be offices for
Sales staff, just admins, managers.
Okay. Okay, so what I'm looking at here is a massive warehouse. I mean, this is huge.
Yeah.
What's going here?
So this warehouse is actually a multi-purpose facility. So in Canada, we have a company called Meals, which is MEELS. And what it is it's a healthy food delivery service. And we have a commercial kitchen with fridges and all that in Canada. And that's the plan for this area right here. This whole area is going to be a mix of commercial kitchen with production fridges, production freezers, and all that. So this will get filled out.
Which is really cool. Now, when I was in Canada, I think we saw the kitchen being built.
Yeah.
We never actually saw it in operation. But I promise you, once this is in operation, I want to come and see that because I think it's interesting for people to see.
So this is our facility. It's a lab. It's GMP certified. It's ISO 9001 as well. We're not geared up now, but usually you're supposed to be geared up when we come in here.
Right.
We just decided to do this on a whim, so we want to make sure that we showed it to you. Over here on the shelving right here, you have flavor bases. Those are mixed flavoring. Nothing comes with nicotine. We do everything to order. So if you place your order, we actually manufacture it when you place your order. That allows us to give you the ability to choose the nicotine strength, the type of nicotine, and pretty much customize your liquid to whatever you want it to be.
Right. So everything's fresh, really.
Everything is fresh. Yeah, everything is fresh. Some people might not like that. They might say, oh, I want steeped juice. For that, we have these paint shakers that the actual juice goes into once it's ready, and it pretty much hyper steeps it because it shakes it so quickly. It creates the steeping process and accelerates it for those liquids.
All right, so we just saw the filling area. And that's where the liquid get filled in the bottles and probably the nicotine as well, right?
Yep.
And what's this area right here?
So this area right here is our little manufacturing area. This is where we actually combine the different flavors to create the e-juice bases. Right here you have our propylene glycol and their vegetable glycerin. They're connected to a tote or a drum on the other end to make sure it's all clean. It's all, nothing comes into this room right here from outside. And the way it's controlled, you turn it on, you open the lever and you put a pill underneath and it fills it. And this is the computer which actually generates the recipes for our staff to follow and to create. Every single batch that we manufacture can be traced back to the ingredient level. So for example, if you have a recipe that contains 10 different ingredients, we could tell which ingredient we used, when it was received, when it was purchased, the batch number from the manufacturer for that ingredient. So in case of any issues in the future, let's say a manufacturer comes to us and says batch XYZ had an issue, we could recall all the e-liquids that we created with that batch to either pull them back or to action them or to create a corrective action on them. And that's huge because that is actually what drives our GMP.
Right, so you have complete traceability on everything. And the software you're using, we've talked about the software probably years ago when we visited the Canadian operation. This is all proprietary. This is all stuff that you actually designed, right?
Yeah, so my background is in web development and programming and software development. And we created all of our internal systems, including inventory, lab, all our traceability systems, all our point of sales, everything is done in-house and it's all interconnected. So as soon as a batch is created, it automatically goes into our inventory. As soon as it goes into our inventory, when you place an order, it removes that amount from the inventory. So it's always accurate. So if, for example, for customers that want to buy wholesale, they could have live inventory tracking of anything that they want to get. And they never have to worry about, oh, this is showing in stock, but it's not in stock. That's never a thing. It's always accurate. It's always live.
That's pretty impressive. Yeah. So you're actually a smart guy too, on top of everything.
Yeah, that's what they tell me, but I don't believe it.
So if somebody orders a liquid either in Canada or the US or Greece, are you using like consistent ingredients across all the locations?
It's identical.
It's identical.
It's the exact same ingredients in all locations.
So that's PG, VG, nicotine, and obviously the flavorings. That's an easy one.
Same suppliers, yeah.
Same suppliers. Yep. Okay, so it is a consistent product no matter where you. Okay.
Exactly.
Cool. This tub is used so much that it's like deformed. Actually, look at that, unbelievable.
We'll walk to our shipping station.
Right.
And for us, our biggest plus is our software allows us to order just in time. So we never carry abundance of stock because our system basically tells us you need to order X amount because this is what you sold in the last Y amount of days.
Right.
And that's how we operate our system. So you'll never see a million boxes of hardware in our facilities. It's actually very efficient, very tight, and it gets ordered pretty often and restocked often.
Okay. So anything you find on the DashVapes website, hardware-wise,
Yep.
is here and will ship from here
Exactly.
if you order in the U.S.
Exactly, yeah. For us, we want to make sure that first and foremost, the person stops smoking. We don't care about somebody that has never smoked. We don't really cater to those people. We don't cater to people that try to get into vaping with not smoking in the past. That's not really what we're all about. We want to make sure that we're helping the smoker quit, and I think that's where we really align with Phil and Dimitri, and that's why we get along so well, because our priorities are the same when it comes to this industry.
And you still hold that philosophy of like vaping is good because it gets people off of cigarettes.
Absolutely, vaping is by far the best tool for getting people off of cigarettes. It's I don't know how anybody could even argue that at this point in time.
Yeah.
It's 2023. Industry's been alive for well over 15 years now. There is no denying that vaping is by far the most effective tool to quit smoking.
What would you say some of your big sellers are now from a hardware perspective?
So our biggest sellers are obviously the 𝗬𝗵𝗶 series. That's in terms of hardware. Coils are huge in the US. I'm not sure why 50% of our orders are just coils.
Really?
Where in Canada it's a mixture of juice, coils, hardware, but I guess people are Googling specific products and they're landing on our website and they're ordering it. But that caught me off guard, because even in Europe, people are ordering a mix of things. Here, there's people that are just ordering a coil and paying shipping for it.
Still coils.
Yeah.
And shameless plug here, but you do carry Z coils, right?
Of course, and Z coils are actually really popular. So the Zenith coils we actually just sold out, and we opened a couple days ago.
Oh, I love to hear that. All right. Hey, okay, listen, we can get Z coils here at DashVapes US. And what about what are your popular e-liquids now?
So obviously watermelon peach.
It's the number one best-selling flavor.
best-selling flavor.
Yeah, it's a damn good thing he answered that the right way.
It's actually a really popular flavor. All the unsalted line is super popular. If you go on our website and you go on e-liquids, it actually sorts by most popular, and pretty much all the unsalted are in the top 15.
How's 𝗵𝗶𝗶 doing?
𝗵𝗶𝗶 is doing really good. It's delicious, first of all. I
really
personally love it. Yeah. And like I said, all the unsalteds do well. It's bizarre how well they do, because we've had staple e-liquids that have been popular for 5-6 years that unsalted kind of overtook now, because it's gaining popularity. It's doing really well.
For people who want to order unsalted, you can get it at DashVapes.
You can.
But for shops who want to carry it, even for distribution, okay, if you're interested, you can contact me, you can contact 𝗫, you can contact Dimitri. We will be fulfilling orders for shops from this facility, and you will be getting U.S. shipping for
exactly
shops, right?
Yep. Okay. And it's always shipped priority for wholesale, so you get it really quick.
Great. Well, listen, I mean, you got DashVapes Canada, you got DashVapes EU, now we got DashVapes US. 𝗫, you're expanding, you're growing. You're going to have the meal service here in the U.S. now too. I wish you a whole lot of luck and a lot of success with everything that you're doing.
Thank you, and thanks for making the trek down here to meet.
That wasn't that bad. 3 hours, not bad, not bad. It was a nice ride.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Best of luck with the new project to 𝗫 and DashVapes. Great people. And very, very fast shipping now in the USA. So that's always a plus. We can keep Peggy happy now.
Yeah, and Peggy, I mean, Peggy has been supporting us from day one. Peggy, of course, with Vape Cats and 𝗍𝗔𝗨𝗧𝗏 Source. You can still get the e-liquids direct from Peggy, and she has them in shop. And speaking of that, I was going to ask you guys for a favor. Okay, and the favor is this. If you guys visit a shop, if you have a local shop that you go to and they don't have unsalted and you're interested, please have them get in touch with us. We can get the e-liquid to them now. Direct shipping from the U.S. We're going to be calling a lot of shops, and we hope that they give us the support that we've given them for so many years.
Very well said, my friend.
Thank you, buddy. I think
and don't forget, that the watermelon peach is the #1 selling.
You know, I am so glad that you said that. You know why I'm glad that you said that? Because I'm empty and I have just a little bit left and I wanted to polish it off. And by the way, that facility is in Boca Raton, which unfortunately, because I would be a lot more involved, it's on the other side. It's on the other coast, right? I'm Cape Coral, Fort Myers area. He's Boca Raton. And I wanted to see, like, you know, what that area looked like. So I drove to Delray Beach, which is really close, D. And you need to, when you're here, we should go see this because it is a beautiful area.
Yeah.
This is the Delray.
I have a friend that has a restaurant in Delray Beach, a Greek guy.
Oh, really?
Very good friend of mine. Yeah.
We can go there and you can order for us. But just a beautiful, beautiful area. Florida is so fucking beautiful, man. It really is. It's hot as hell in the summertime, but it's so nice.
There's a lot of old people. It's not
Oh,
just not,
shut
it's just
up,
not my favorite
would you
thing. It's just not.
please? Look at this. Look at this. Look at how gorgeous this is. Look at this. This is
Anyways,
my-
we can get a link to that video. That video will be within this video, Alpha. You just timestamp it and you're done.
yeah, I might make it a separate video too. Maybe you know what? I need a staff. Me.
No, you don't. You have plenty of time while you're tanning. When we were in Germany, I have to bring this up and we can close after because it's very late. It's 2:00 in the morning from here. When we were in Germany, and we were at the booth, I had some customers of mine that were sitting at the booth that didn't know Phil. They were liquid customers, and one of the girls that was in that group came up to me that knows me and asked me very, very quietly in my ear. She said, why is your friend so dark? And I was like, and then it took me a second to understand what she was trying to ask. She was talking about Phil and why Phil was so dark. So of course I told her the obvious answer. You know, he is from a mixed marriage. His mom is black and his dad is white. but the joke doesn't translate well when you're talking to people from a different country.
The joke doesn't translate well when I look in my pants either.
Yeah, true. Me too. When I look in your pants, so as I have. Yeah, you have time. You need to do some YouTube shorts. Cut out the piece. Listen, as much as you don't like Christina anymore, you should cut out the piece for Christina. You should cut out the piece for ESG. You should cut out the Chris Lusser piece out. You need to cut them and make them YouTube shorts.
It's a good idea.
It's a great idea. Also, really all those videos that you cut out for me that we were using for the intro, because you cut like 79 videos out, you can take those and upload them as YouTube shorts as well too. So throw a serious one, a funny one, a serious one, and a funny one, and just keep uploading YouTube shorts. Sure. YouTube shorts are getting a lot of traction right now. They really
You know what's
are.
crazy is that back in the day, I remember like I would accidentally film something in portrait view, and you would fucking yell at me. You'd be like, "What are you doing? You're such a rookie." Blah blah blah. Now everything is goddamn portrait view.
Well, I can't help. I'm moving along with technology, and you should as well too.
All right, I think we said it all, buddy.
Yes.
It was a
we will be in Verona. This weekend. It's a 3-day show. I hate 3-day shows. You know, let me just go ahead and just say this because I'm drunk now.
Go ahead.
Fuck 3-day shows. It's so stupid in 2023 to do 3-day vape expos. There's just not enough traffic. It's brutal. It's especially for us older folks. It's just not good. Stop doing 3-day shows. Unfortunately, this one is a 3-day show. So we're going to be there Saturday, Sunday, and Monday at Vape Italy in Verona. And the only good thing I'm looking forward to this show is, of course, seeing Felix and seeing our friends there in Italy, our team, and the
I thought you were going to say something about me, but okay.
No. And I'm going to get to that as well, too. And, of course, spending time with Phil and listening to the lovely stories that Phil's going to tell me this week. I just look forward to that. Every trip I take, it just makes me, it just brings so much joy in my life. So I'm looking forward to that as well, too. And I'm looking forward to paying another ticket in Italy because I'm definitely going to get a ticket at some point. Speeding or parking or something.
Do you know what, like my knowledge of Italy and the Verona show, you know what it reminds me of?
What?
It reminds me of the first promo flyer that Innokin put out, this one right here. Because the Leaning Tower of Pisa is nowhere near Verona, from what I understand.
It's close. It's in the same country. It's in the same country. All right, before we go, can you pull a winner out for the
contest? I have to do that, don't I? Wow, how about that? All right, here we go. Here we are, Enlist Randomizer. This is for the, where is it? Side by side.
Endura Apex.
Yeah, no, I know. I just wanted to hold it up to the camera right there. The Innokin Endura Apex. And I have a few different colors. I'll let you choose a color too.
This contest was actually announced in 2022, so we're getting around to it.
It was a long time ago, and it was kind of a secret hidden contest. So not a lot of people entered. So you got a good shot at this. Here we go. Here's everybody who entered. Let's find out who won. Good luck, everybody. The winner is Valdez. Oh, that's
definitely. It's going to cost you an arm and a fucking leg.
Name right there. That is an expensive.
Valdez. What was the last name?
The IP. Who cares? Here you go.
I can't see that. I can't.
Can I make it bigger? I can't.
I have to put my glasses on. Hold
I
on.
know. It's Valdez Gsricka.
I still can't see it. I don't know.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right.
Let's see. Maybe if
whatever it is, it sounds like it's in Spain. It's going to cost you an arm and a leg.
Oh, maybe I could just send it with you to Spain.
Yes, I can hand deliver it to
that would be very special.
Can you imagine me knocking on his door? Hey, Valdez, you got an Endura Apex.
You can even lick it for him. Maybe he's into that type of thing.
Oh man,
hold on a second. Fun. Here we go. Boom. Is it on the screen?
That's good. I can see that.
There you go.
That sounds expensive. That's all I can say.
It does. That sounds like $100 worth of shipping for a $15 device.
If the mods from Platform Series can post that to let them know that they won, that we would really appreciate that. And then happy birthday to Greg again. I don't know. He's like what 13 now. So happy birthday, Greg, to you. Thank you for everything that you do, buddy, and good luck with your show with Kenny.
We appreciate Greg and Marshall. Don't forget we have the Innokin platform page Facebook group. There's literally none left. There's none left. There's none left. It's sad. There's a couple drops.
Suck it out.
A couple drops left.
Suck it. Lithuania says
Troy's
Troy.
right.
That could be
Troy's right. That name has Lithuania. Like if I send it to him, the quadcopters are gonna find him. The drones are gonna get him. I gotta be careful.
That's right. Can you deliver it with a drone?
I could.
All right, we said it all. We got to go. It's 2:15 in the morning here. I got to go to bed. I got work tomorrow, and I'm tired. But it was a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to do a show today. It's going to be at least 2 weeks before we do another show after Spain for sure. So we hope you guys enjoyed the content, the laughs, and the explanations, and the advocacy, and the content. And yeah, give us a like, share it. Whatever the fuck everybody says, just
slam the like button, smash it, something. The like button. I don't know. You gotta do something with the like button. We appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you again soon. Don't forget, we're still on, by the way. You got to go watch Scott's show now.
ST Taylor. ST Vapes on YouTube.
ST
Go over there.
Vapes.
Tell them that we sent you.
Yeah.
Tell them that the the yin and yang, the white and black of vaping YouTube sent you over. The darky sent you over.
Hey, dude, I'm filling that quota, brother.
For sure. All right.
Okay.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.